As days grow longer, the summer season grows closer, and this year's season will be a game changer for the Cape's long-term wastewater issues.
In the short-term rental room occupancy legislation that was passed just the last tail end of the last session, included in that bill was a provision to create a Cape Cod and Islands Water Protection Fund.
Wastewater management presents an ongoing and costly issue to Cape Cod. The region stands under a court order to solve it, which led to a 2017 plan with a potential $4 billion price tag.
So the Conservation Law Foundation sued US EPA because Cape Cod was not in compliance with the Clean Water Act, and that we need to address nitrogen in our marine water embayments and phosphorus in our freshwater embayments. This fund provides money to implement the 208 plan. So under the 208 plan, it's a $4 billion plan. Under that plan and agreement, which was signed off on by the governor and agreed to by the Mass Department of Environmental Protection, a quarter of the $4 billion cost to implement 208 comes from the state. This is the state's commitment to fund 208.
People have questions about what is this thing, where does it live, who's managing it, and how do we know the funds are going where they should and who's making those decisions?
Sure. It's a 2.75% surcharge on all rooms on Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, and Nantucket. So that's traditional hotel and motels, Airbnbs, you rent a house for a week. That's the same rate that Boston, Springfield, and Worcester uses to fund their convention centers.
So from July 1st onward, when you come and you rent a place here, 2.7% of your rental will be going into a fund.
Yes.
Specific for wastewater.
2.75% will go into a fund so that the people who visit here on Cape Cod are contributing to helping to solve the problems.
How do these funds move and where do they go? Renters pay the motel or homeowner or booking service. In turn, the property owner/manager pays the state. Funds start to fill a metaphorical bucket called the Clean Water Trust, which is managed by the state treasurer's office.
What we are doing is creating a sub-fund within the existing state structure that is dedicated to funding wastewater remediation and nitrogen removal for Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, and Nantucket.
Okay, so it's going to sit there in a bucket, no pun intended.
Yep.
Water,
It is a
water
bucket,
money,
yep.
water money pouring in. Water gets to a certain level. Now what?
And that money is to be dispersed and managed by the Clean Water Trust in consultation with a management board. Each town has a representative on the board. Towns are in the process of appointing those representatives, and they're going to determine how to allocate the money. Towns, the town of Orleans, for instance, will submit a project to the Clean Water Trust and to the management board for consideration, and so the management board will decide among those projects where to award dollars. It allows for funding of, yes, traditional pipes and pumps and sewering, but also innovative projects like aquaculture. It also helps fund Title V upgrades.
Although the Cape and Islands Water Protection Fund bucket starts filling up this summer, the potential millions of dollars and eventual tens of millions of dollars won't start flowing out to towns for another 18 to 24 months.
This isn't a short-term fix. So we have decades upon decades of work that needs to happen for wastewater remediation. So the fund is designed to be a longer-term fix for a pretty long-term problem that we have. Remember, if we don't address wastewater here on Cape Cod, one, we will face further court action, which is against every single town on the Cape. And two, clean water, right? This is the product we sell in the global marketplace, right? People come here for our pristine beaches, for our marine waters, for our freshwater ponds. If we don't steward that, we don't really have much of a product to sell and to attract people here. And so this is a regional solution of all 15 towns coming together to solve the significant challenge that we have. We're not creating a new bureaucracy. We're using an existing state program to make it happen, but with maximum local input.